Hello. Hey, push 578. Yes, 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 yes. It is finally here after over 9 months, or I say 10 months, after Deion Jones had a pick six against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and was able to run it back. We have finally found ourselves on the winning track again. Falcons win the game 40-23. Yes, Falcons win, Falcons win, Falcons win. Let's do it. Let's go, folks. I'm trying to tell you, this is going to be awesome to talk today. Finally, after a win, finally, after not worrying about trying to grip so hard at the end to wonder and cross your fingers and wonder whether we were going to blow this one and do everything. To lose this game, we did not. Start to finish, absolutely great game plan by the Atlanta Falcons. Win one under the Raheem Morris regime, and so far so good. We got a long way to go. We got a lot of stuff to fix. Still some stuff there at the end I didn't like defensively, but let's take the win first. The win goes a long way. Rise up, Jerome. Rise up, Miss Montoya, and say, hey, we finally got a win. Absolutely. I see you, Claudia. Great win. Great game. Perry, 4-5 before the bye. Look, listen, man. Let me enjoy this. Let's enjoy this one first before we start projecting, because that's where we get in trouble, starting projecting things. I want to talk about this one. Meecha says, feel good. And something you said right there, a quality win. That wasn't a kind of one. That wasn't a if this would have happened, they would have won. They won today. They dominated today. They came through in all facets of the game today. Every last one. Offense, defense, special teams. Cool. Every kick Koo had went straight through the middle. I don't know if y'all noticed that, even the 50-yarders. We look good overall as a team. Minnesota cannot come in here with fluky stuff. And of course, now they'll probably blame Dalvin Cook, because they'll say Dalvin Cook didn't play or we would have run all over y'all. But I'll say this about just to show you what the national media thinks of us. The national media and Fox took the time to make a vignette about a backup running back, Alexander Madison, and made a little snippet about Alexander Hamilton at the beginning of the game. Did y'all see that? That shows you how much they don't care about the Atlanta Falcons. They had this circled as a loss. They're going to Minnesota, the tough, mighty Minnesota defense, and they could not hold up one bit. Atlanta Falcons, from start to finish, destroyed them. Even those times when you said you started getting a little nervous when you saw one touchdown, we bounced back with at least a field goal. You saw another touchdown, we bounced back with another touchdown. Just an overall Great game. And listen, I'm going to give my first game ball to Raheem Morris. Raheem Morris, I told you guys at halftime, you saw the interview with Dante Fowler where he said he made folks feel uncomfortable. And when you're 0-5 in the NFL, you should feel uncomfortable. And whatever that was that he made them feel, it was brought out on that field. From the first interception of the game by Debo to tackling. I saw somebody earlier in my halftime feed talk about tackling. When is the last time you've seen clear tackling, open field tackling, just paying attention to details? You can't tell me that that's not a reflection upon what Raheem probably brought to this team. I'm trying to tell you, this is encouraging to see. And then there's still this other side of you as a fan that's slightly disappointed because you just say, one, why wasn't this move made earlier? And two, why couldn't this connect through the team in those first couple of games? Because, folks, these are the same players. These are the same players. These are the same veterans. These are the same cornerbacks that we've been crying about. And today was one of the best games they played in a long time. And I'll take every bit of that. Everybody in here, Jermaine, DeMarcus, how you doing? Rise up, have faith in Raheem Morris. I have faith in him. It might be a little too late, but I have faith in him. Corey, feels good to hear the win. Cherry on top, beating the Vikings since 2011. Jermaine, first 5 games were playing like Atlanta football. Today we were playing Atlanta Falcons. Change is always a good tactic. Micho says quality coaching. Rise up, RJ. One game at a time. Sean says finally a win. Paul, one game at a time. That's my thing. One game at a time. And like I said, and I get it. I'm not trying to play. Your position stinks. I'm saying, yeah, I'll worry about the schedule next week. Who do we have next week? Detroit. I'm worried about Detroit right now. So we'll catch up to that stuff when we get here. This is the first time we've been able to celebrate. And going back last year, when you think about it, the last complete game we probably played from start to finish, even dating back then, that Jacksonville game was actually pretty complete last year, but we have not looked that good. We looked good today. And I'm going to just go out on a limb and say that's one of the best games we played in the last 2 seasons, in my opinion. I'm not going to say we did look good finally. Kane, that was an open can of whoop-behind win. Like I said before, Raheem redeemed. We can even jump on the onside kick. I know that made my day with that onside kick thing. That was great. Morris must have been in their butt at practice because they played like a real football team. You should be. You 0-5. You better be in their butt. Kane, loved the aggressive play calling. The play calling was great. I liked the 4th down calls. And I saw Tidy on the Falcon stream that we have when he made the post when he was talking about starting to run the ball. And you're right about that. There is a balance that you have to have. Now, Matt did still throw the ball 40 times. So, yeah, it's always good to get that brought down just a little bit. But there's also something to say. I think when you look, Matt was 30 for 40, and I say 5 or 6 of those plays he probably still could have had. We still could have connected on some of that stuff. So we left some stuff out on the field, but I love saying we left something out on the field on a 17-point win. Carol says offense, defense played good today, and give special teams credit too, Carol. Youngway missed those field goals and extra points the game that he got hurt. Since he's been back, he's been pretty solid. You give him a lot of credit. She said 2017. You're probably right. Leadership matters. Miles, how you doing, Miles? Now that's the Atlanta Falcons football team. I know. Glad we got our first W. Love my Falcons. Jermaine, I saw effort and concentration today. Detroit is the next one. The Lions, thank y'all for reminding me. RJ Oliver looked good today. All great win. Last time you said that. Isaiah Oliver, you didn't hear Isaiah Oliver's name today. That ought to tell you a lot. You did not hear his name today. That was a horrible play my man Sheffield bit on Jefferson. Jefferson is a bad boy for the Vikings. Just on a side note, that cat right there looked like he's ready to eat. Damien says it's been a long time since we've seen a victory formation. That's true. Because you think about even the Tampa Bay game, we won that, but we won it on the last second. George say, finally nice to see the team keep its foot on the gas all 4 quarters. George says, rise up, feels good, got one in the win column. Real quick, let me run through a couple of numbers, and then we're going to talk about it with y'all, 1-877-747-2346, and see how you all feel about our very first win of the game. I see you, Ken. Ken said, game at a time. We have faith in the team. We just need some momentum. Absolutely. Again, and it's not a knock to anyone who wants to project now, but when you're 0-5, you're not in a position where you need to look ahead. One game at a time. Jermaine says, where's that receiver we got from Vikings? Treadwell, I hope he's back with him, as far as I'm concerned. Numbers today. Matt Ryan, and that's whose jersey I'm wearing today. My MVP today is the ever mobile dual threat quarterback, Matt Ryan. And of course, y'all know I am talking tongue in cheek, but a couple of those plays, folks, Matt was doing his thing. Matt stepped up a couple of times. There might have been the walkiest 8-yard run that you've seen in a long time, but at least he still got it. And very important too, with all the stuff that happened this week, remember all the talk, not only about Dan Quinn getting fired and TD getting fired, but even Arthur Blank, to the point where you don't make a verbal commitment to Matt. If y'all don't think for 1 second Matt didn't hear that, and if y'all don't think for 1 second Matt didn't want to respond to that, let me tell you what Matt's response was today. Matt's response, 30 for 40, 371 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and rushing yards, four carries for 8 yards. And I know that doesn't sound like much, but a quarterback who doesn't do anything, that's great. Well, he actually stretched a couple of plays. The play to Julio was outstanding. He was dancing around like Baryshnikov. If y'all don't know who he is, ask your mom and daddies. And just keeping the play alive and giving his playmakers a chance. Speaking of playmakers, Julio Jones today, 8 receptions, 137 yards, 2 touchdowns. Great to see Julio finally get in the end zone. Russell Gage, 4 receptions, 65 yards. Brother Calvin, who had some cramps, but he came back, 6 catches, 61 yards. I'm going to have to start telling Calvin, stop trying to get all the extra yards, brother. I'm going to need you to get the first down to stay where you are and do that. Don't try to do too much. Hayden Hurst today, 4 catches, 57 yards, a touchdown. We have got to take advantage of what these teams are going to give us, folks. Outstanding game for them. And then the defense. Let's talk about these interceptions. Our hometown guy, A.J. Terrell. Welcome, brother. Thank you for that first interception this year. Listen, it's been a long time since April, because one of the main people that was sitting here with their hands raised saying to themselves, what is he going to be? Is he going to be that guy that got burnt in the LSU game? Had a chance to have that matchup today, too, with Brother Jefferson a couple of times, but redeemed himself quite well by jumping in front of one of those passes and getting that interception. Foye Oluokwan, he's been pretty solid all year. I can't say I'm surprised, but I will say he's somebody that really needs to be looked at. On a defense that's not doing well, you don't have a lot of MVPs aside of Grady, but he is somebody. Foye has played really well this year. And Dion, the invisible man, the forgotten man, came up with a really good game today. Proud to say he has put himself back on the map. Coming back over here, RJ says, I wonder what Mr. John Harris has to say about Matt Ryan today. Carol says 40-yard scramble with Matt and Julio as a play of the game. You'll see that on ESPN, y'all. Y'all don't see that on ESPN, and they're gonna make fun of that all day with Matt scrambling around like that. June says, love how my team looked today. Still need some tweaking, but it's doable. Here's the thing, though, June. You're not gonna make us a Super Bowl team in one game. When you're 0-5, you take it. You take baby steps. When you're 0-5, you take the first win. This is the first win. We haven't been able to say Falcons win since December of 2019. So what you do is you compartmentalize and take these things step by step. And the first step is winning this game, giving full credit to Raheem Morris. All right, I'm getting ready to open up these lines here in 1 second. See somebody already calling for me. Oh, well, they were calling. Y'all calling already. I want to hear not only your thoughts on the game, but I want to hear who is your MVP of the game. I'm going to give I'm sorry, I'll say MVP. I see who's your game baller today. I'll say my game balls, I have two of them. I'm going to give one to Raheem Morris. Great job coming in to motivate the guys. Listen, this could have gone one or two ways. It could have been, hey, dude, we don't care. Let's just tank these other 11 games. Or you could have got the performance you got today against the Vikings. And the Vikings are not a sorry team. Carla, how you doing today? Thanks for joining us today. Identify yourself for us.
Didn't I tell you, Steve, that if we didn't hear nothing about Isaiah Oliver, this man was going to turn this thing around? Did I tell you this, Ricky? Did I tell you that?
Rick, you said it. And again, the less you hear somebody's name on defense, the better it is. Yeah. That's how it goes. So, Rick, first win of the year, man. Tell me what you saw, and then tell me your first game ball today.
I saw a different attitude. Like, I'm talking about all three phases. I'm talking about when I saw a very mean defense.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins got hit hard. Often. Hard yes, and often.
Yes, sir.
He had a lot of interior pressure. Adam Bailey gets the game ball.
Ooh, man. Ooh, that's a good call. Good call. And you forgot he was on the team.
Adam Bailey.
Yes, sir.
The game ball.
Yes, sir.
Because it's between him and Debo.
Yeah.
Because those two were when I say disruptive.
Yeah.
Alan Bailey lived in the back.
Yes, he was.
Found.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Just lived there.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you what happened. Off the blanks is more smarter than a lot of people give him credit for.
Right.
Off the blank came in and said, basically, I ain't got no friends on this team. So what you're gonna do is, if I'm paying you this money and you want to stay on this team,
there you go.
Well, you better play like you want to stay on this team and get paid this money. Hey. When the last time you seen Julio clown like that?
Julio, look.
Literally. The last time, like you said, you seen the ESPN show gonna talk about Matt Ryan about moving around. When have you ever seen Matt Ryan take off and scramble? When have you ever seen him throw off his back foot and give his Aaron Rodgers
championship game in 2017? Hey, last time.
Green Bay.
Last time I saw it.
But now he stepped up. How many yards? Give me his stats again.
Okay, Julio went for 8 for 137, averaged 17 yards a pop, 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Not Calvin, not Gage, Julio.
And so
What was Matt's stats again?
Matt, 30 for 40. For those who didn't go to public school, that's 75%. 371 yards, 4 touchdowns.
How many?
4 touchdowns. and they weren't cheap. They weren't cheap touchdowns. They weren't little 2-yard tosses.
No.
that play.
But when a man said it's up to his body and up to the player, if he wants to stay, guess what he was telling you? Well, you got to earn your keep.
And to your point, when you talk about Arthur Blank in the mind games that you have to play, Montoya brings up a good point here. She said Julio's name was mentioned last week with trade subject. Not only Julio, Matt, and everybody else on this team. Again, that dude, you got to put them on blast.
Everybody is on interview status.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Listen to me, Steve.
Yeah.
The next 11 games, everybody on the Atlanta Falcons football team, the 53-man roster, every coach, whoever the trainer, everybody, the conditioning coach, everybody is on interview.
Right.
They on blast now. Arthur Blank got $1 billion light on everybody. And he's like, if you want to stay on this team, you're gonna have to perform like you're on this team. Now, if I want to bust the bubble, everybody gonna have to be upset unless something major happens. Ain't nobody trying to tank.
Right.
Period.
Right.
So
right.
You tank for Trevor. That's just like a Trump for a president statement. No, ain't nobody tanking for Trevor. Whatever he is, I mean, he sold out.
And I perceive that. Yeah, listen. Trevor is great. I still say Trevor has the goods. I'm still under the thought process that you don't necessarily have to get Trevor or Justin, who are projected as 1 and 2. The last few quarterbacks that have made noise, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, were taken later in the draft. And as long as you have the right OC that's teaching these young boys and scheme, which the OC will bring the scheme. If you have the right people, it really doesn't. Listen, I'm not acknowledging the fact that Trevor put up 70 points on Georgia Tech yesterday. I'm saying that it doesn't have to be Trevor. It can be Deshaun Watson, who was taken later. It could be Mahomes, who was taken later. It could be Russell Wilson, who's taken in the 3rd round. It could take Aaron Rodgers, who had to sit in the green room for 2 hours before his name got called. It doesn't have to be the top number 1 guy for everybody doing that. But you know what? I'm not going to talk about today. I'm talking about the Falcons. Falcon win. Who's your game ball? Because I got a couple of folks coming on. Who's the game ball? Who's your game ball today? Alan Bailey?
My game ball is Alan Bailey. Well, let me say this. My game ball is the Atlanta Falcons defense.
There you go.
Not the offense, because I know the offense can put up 40 points. That's an expectation. The defense,
yep.
The defense, and no Isaiah Oliver mess up.
Yeah. No. I'll take that all day. I'm a little concerned about Sheffield on that terminal. Jefferson is a beast, though. Jefferson.
I'm gonna tell you who else is a beast back there too. That AJ Terrell.
Oh yeah, AJ, and I'm one of the first people because on draft night, I was one of the ones. And look, you see my hand. I'm one of the ones that scratched whatever hair I had on my head and said, "What are they doing?" And AJ had a really good game. And on the catch that Thielen made, he did everything on that play to disrupt that. That's just a great catch. Sometimes you just got to give credit to where credit is due. But AJ was in his face.
Get my game ball. Like I said, we 1-0 now.
Yes, sir.
Keep it moving.
That's what we do, brother. Brother Ricky, we gonna holler at you, man. Tomorrow will be the recap. It will not be the rehab. Tomorrow will be the recap. Hey, you have a good Sunday, my brother. Go Braves.
Take care.
Yeah, listen. And when you start thinking about how this defense did today, we did not miss tackles today. When is the last time you saw that we didn't miss tackles? I mean, one-on-one in the open, and guys were making tackles. We haven't done that in a long time. Carla, how you doing today? Thanks for joining us on the post game. This is Steve. Identify yourself for us.
Hey, what's going on, big brother? This is Bandwagon Hater.
What's going on, man? How you feeling, man? I gotta smile a little bit today. Like I said again, it doesn't make up for 5 losses, but it's better than 6 losses in a row. How you feeling first?
Well, I needed this one after last night, with the dogs and everything.
Oh yeah, that was a little reality check that's a little reality check on a side note for the dogs. 41-24 against Alabama. I was telling people this a little bit. I like the grit and grime of Bennett, but I still don't think he's the guy. And that's just me. But I still think I would love to see what the guy from USC has if he can play.
Bennett showed why a quarterback his size can be a problem against a well-coached team.
True.
So all they had to do was stick their hand. If he throws an accurate ball, all they got to do is stick their hands up, and it's getting tipped.
And in college ball, where you got Alabama basically recruits NFL prospects. They don't recruit third-string high school players that's just happy to be there. they are the minor league for the NFL at Alabama.
Oh yeah.
So I apologize for taking that diversion. Talk to me today about the Falcons, man. What did you see, and tell me who gets your game ball for the day?
Well, today I got with the exception of Cutter, because his play calling is still kind of irking me a little bit.
Yeah.
I gotta get to the coaching staff today.
Yeah.
Because they came in. The game plan was obvious, but they had what they wanted to do and they stuck to it today. And I got to give them props for that.
As a fan that I know that you are, and I listen and I'm seeing your posts, and did you notice a difference today? Was it something that just there was a stark difference in how they were playing as opposed to the first 5 weeks. Even when they were leading the game against Dallas, even when they were leading the game against Chicago, there was something different. Was it just me, or did you feel it too?
I saw something that I haven't seen, I'd say, in the last 3 seasons, and that was a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
We haven't had that in a while, and just seeing some of the kind of the news that's been kind of getting out about Morris, how he's been making, everybody feel uncomfortable.
That's good.
I think a light has been lit under everybody, not just the coaching staff, but the players too. And that's just been something that hasn't been, prevalent under the players coach.
That's true.
And but yeah, that defensive line, the defensive line that's supposed to be so beat up.
Yeah.
They were getting pushed. The linebackers was flying around. The secondary is still kind of shaky, but they held up, for the most part. What they did give up, it was garbage.
True.
True. It wasn't anything, that I would be concerned about, with the game basically being out of hand, or out of reach anyway, I should say. Other than that, just that sense of urgency, it's like they had to have this win.
While you on here, I'm gonna address one of the posts on here. My brother Sheehan, how you doing, brother? Good to always talk to you, Shin. And I probably you're gonna see some of these posts today. He says, everybody can be mad at me, but I'm pissed off that we won today. We did the same dumb stuff last year, going 6-2 at the end of the season. Now, all we did was extend Dan Quinn and Dimitrov here at the Falcons, and it cost us a higher position. As a fan of this organization, getting Trevor Lawrence is more important than getting meaningless wins. Tell me your thoughts about it, and then I'm gonna tell you mine when you're done.
Well, at the end of the day, if you're not eliminated from the playoffs, your season is not over. So, we still got a lot of season left to be played. I'm not saying we're gonna win, 11 games straight. Now that's no, we're not gonna do that. But we gotta play, and and I want to see Raheem Morris get his shot here. So I want to see this team do good, from this point moving forward. I hope it works out at least good enough, for him to at least get another shot, because he does have head coaching experience. Right. And he knows his stuff.
Absolutely. He sure does. My brother, I appreciate you, man. Call me tomorrow. We got to recap tomorrow, man, so we can have some good news instead of bad news tomorrow, okay?
All right.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you then.
All right.
That Shin, and here's the thing, y'all. I get it. I get where you're coming from. The folks on these teams are professionals. At the end of the day, there is nobody. I know that's just such a buzzword about tanking, but grown folks don't tank. Grown folks try to win. And that what you saw out there of 40 points on the road against a pretty good defense shows you that they are not trying to tank. Caller, how you doing today? Thank you for joining me on the post game. Identify yourself for us.
All right, hey Steve, that's David.
David, how you feeling, David? Better than the last 5 weeks.
Oh my goodness! You talk about weight off chest. You talk about almost all Kush out here.
For the first time, David, can you remember the last time that we played a game from start to finish where there was truly not I don't even say a doubt, but you felt more comfortable all the way through?
Steve, and I'm trying to go back. I'm trying to think. And the last game I remember that dominant. That all three sides of the ball was the 17 championship game.
That might have been it. That's the last
game I remember us being that dominant.
Yeah.
That good.
Yeah. That's dumb. And this wasn't a slouch defense. This is not a slouch defense.
Minnesota has they still have a nasty front foot.
Yes, sir. Yes,
they
sir.
have a very nasty front foot. So me and Todd will go on back and forth saying, because there was one particular play where I thought we could have kept the clock moving if Todd just turns up and just falls forward. You only needed maybe like 2 or 3 yards, and I thought, and I just saw a hole there for them 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah.
And I thought I saw Todd tiptoe.
Yeah, he has moments where I say, man, he's unstoppable. But then he have a couple of moments that I step back and say, dog, that $5 million was a lot of money we spent for him. Tell me, nobody has talked about this, David, but I'm going to ask you. Tell me about what you call the redemption game of Matt Ryan. 30 of 40, 371 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Tell me what you saw in our quarterback today.
Our message to our owner ain't done yet.
Right. There you go.
Message to our owner.
Yes. Absolutely.
Because we saw him emphasize today. You saw him throw out different platforms today.
best mobile quarterback.
The scramble, and I was like, oh, Lord, my kid's giving his head off. And then he put that little...
He threw a little move on him.
I was like, okay, man. I was like, okay. I'm like, oh, so you're trying to show the owner, and matter of fact, the rest of these leagues, the rest of the teams in this league who are not sure on their quarterback, he's trying to show them I'm not done yet.
That's what I saw. Dave, who gets your game ball today, David?
It's gotta be Matt. It's gotta be Matt for me. I'm saying and that Alabama call was really, really nice because he was really disruptive today.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
For me, it's gotta be Matt. 30 or 40, 373, no turns and no picks.
Absolutely.
It's got to be the quarterback for me. And like I said, he improvised. He flew off different platforms. His footwork was impeccable in the pocket today.
And you know, it may not look as fluid as Aaron Rodgers or as smooth as Patrick Mahomes, but you know what it was, Dave? It was effective. It was effective. And when you go 30 for 40, in this league, in a game, and don't throw an interception, that's pretty good. That's super good. Dave, join me tomorrow, brother. Call me on the recap tomorrow on Monday. Not the rehab, the recap. You take care and have a great evening now. Go Braves, y'all. Yeah, we again, nobody's trying to, try to pretend like the Falcons are right back in the playoff hunt and things of that nature. But I am saying that Matt Ryan's demise might have been a little premature. I think when you start looking at what he did and things he did, scrambling a little bit, 8-yard scramble, the little dip and duck he did to get Julio the ball out in space and knowing what his number one receiver can do. Those are things that good quarterbacks do. Caller, how you doing today? Thanks for joining us on the post game. Identify yourself for us.
Hey, Steve. Good afternoon, my brother. This Toddy. I'm doing great.
What's going on, Toddy? How you feeling today, man?
I ain't feeling a lot better than I did last.
Oh man, and look, and I knowing we lost the Braves game yesterday, we lost the Alabama game yesterday, and I was saying to myself, please give us something to smile about today, at least. Give us.
Right. Normally the Falcons don't come through in the clutch, but they came through in the clutch today for us.
What did you see? And knowing that you watched intensely, there was a different feel, man. There was something different. The way they were hitting, the way they were open field. Where's the last time you seen this defense have open field tackles like that?
The last time I saw that defense tackle like that in the open field was the latter part of the season of 2017 when they were just playing phenomenal.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, 2017 we were playing some really good defense. From a standpoint of what player to you stood out in this game, I have a couple, but to you, who stood out in this game as somebody that you just say, okay, the season's not over in his mind?
I'm glad you asked that, Steve, because I'm going to give it to a guy that I've been, excuse my language, but I've been on his ass. I've been on his ass the last 2 weeks, and he came out today, and it was kind of like, you know what? Let me reintroduce myself. Everybody that's watching this game. And don't think for 1 second the false narrative that you hear about Jet Jones is true.
Yeah.
I'm still the man. And I'm about to show y'all why I'm the man. So I got to give it to Julio today.
he was a man on that little improvising that Mr. Ryan did. Because listen, that was supposed to get a first down. That wasn't entitled. That wasn't intended to get a touchdown. But because Mr. Jones decided to just carry that stiff arm into old boy about 10 yards, that became a touchdown. What a statement from Jet today, man.
Oh man, was it ever? I really, really loved and appreciated what he did after the first touchdown. He did the Braves mix it up.
Yes, he did. I saw that. There's a lot of love between the Atlanta teams today. I've been telling everybody, go Braves. They're gonna need it today. Y'all be watching it. What is it? First pitch, 8:08, I think. This evening. Make sure everybody supports them. And last thoughts from you, Raheem Morris. Look, you could have had two different teams come out there. You could have had a team that said, yeah, bro, whatever you got to say, man. We just trying to play out the string. Or you could have a team that put up 40 on what's supposed to be one of the better defenses in the league. What does that say about Raheem's reach with this team?
I think it says a lot. I think as professionals, they wanted to come out and make a statement themselves, and also start off Raheem's, Falcons team on a good note. It's kind of like this. I'm gonna relate to this. It's kind of like back when you was in high school. You had the same old tennis shoes on your feet for the last 4, 5, 6 months. They kind of falling apart. You can't get the rag and soap and wash them anymore. It's just time for some new shoes. And that one Friday when your parents take you to the mall and tell you, hey, like, get whatever you want to. Come back to school that next Monday. You the same person that you were last week. You got a different confidence and swag about yourself.
Y'all are gonna read that chapter in Tidy's book, How My Life Was When I Couldn't Go to Pick and Pay and get my shoes. That was a great analogy, though. All kidding aside, I appreciate it. My brother, call me tomorrow, man. I'm gonna be checking out your live too, as well, man. Dude, this just feels good, man. I know it hasn't been the season start we wanted, but I'd rather have a win than a loss, my brother.
Always, Steve. Always. Thanks for taking my call. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you, brother. And again, there are some people, and I'm watching. I'm looking at some of the comments. I know some folks are just like, whatever. We still, we still gonna lose. We're gonna be 3-13. We're gonna whatever. I hear y'all, and I don't blame you. 5 wins in a row at any part of the season is enough to disgust you. I get it. But at the same time, I'm taking, as a Falcon fan, I'm going to take the win anytime, any day. If this is the 15th game we lost in a row and we win the last one, God dog it, I'm still rooting for my Birds. Carla, how you doing? Thanks for joining us today, and identify yourself for me.
What's going on, Stephen? It's Gregory, man.
Greg, how you feeling, brother?
I feel good after win. First of all, before you ask me any question, let me put a little bird out there for everybody.
Okay.
I hope people out here would please stop being hungry for these first round draft picks, because I hope they remember a name called Jamarcus Russell. First round don't guarantee you to be good. It just guarantee you a better paycheck.
I can't get that into people's mind that this Trevor Lawrence or bust election or whatever you want to call it that everybody's on. Listen, I'm not denying the young man, and you know what? Even Justin Fields, I'm not denying those young men that they are great, but in college. But I've told everybody, even despite today, and Matt was awesome today, if I get a coach and he tells me that I can turn this 2nd or 3rd round quarterback into a star with my scheme, with my tutelage, with my tools, I'll take that more than I will this.
You need to understand, Stephen, it's not about the draft placement.
It's not. It's not.
It's about the system that you're drafted to.
Bingo.
Understand why they don't understand that.
And that's why I'm trying to explain to people, it's more important who this coach and who this OC they're going to bring in than it is who the player is. You can bring Trevor Lawrence in here and Dirk Cutter will still be here. And then what?
What you want to ask me?
I apologize, brother. I threw you off. So tell me today what you saw from quarter one to the first victory formation we've actually had a chance to do in over a year. Tell me what you saw differently than you saw with the Dan Quinn coach team the last 5 weeks. What did you see?
I saw one key word. Intensity.
Yes.
I seen Matt get in his lines. Use my friend. I seen Matt get in his lines ass. I seen that.
Yep. He yelled, "Oh boy!" He yelled, "Oh boy!" Like he stole something from him when he didn't block him up front. That was Hennessy, wasn't it? Was that Hennessy? Yeah, that was Hennessy. He yelled at. Hey, he should have said that. He should have done that.
Yeah, I seen intensity. It's a different aura. It looks like they have a purpose, and that's what was missing with Quinn. Ain't nobody taking this from what Dan Quinn did. Well, he lost the locker room. Like I said a while ago, and I was talking to somebody else in the other line, Steven. They lost the brotherhood mentality after the Philly loss.
Yes, yeah. When Julio didn't catch the ball. Right.
I was gone. I don't care. You could have stood. You could have kept Quinn here another year. It would have been the same result. It's that new blood. I think what Arthur Blank did was just rather intelligent. He lit a fire under everybody's behind because he wants everybody to know that what you have is not guaranteed. So go out there and play like it. And that's exactly what they did.
This team, to see, even on the 2 and 3 yard runs that they were getting, and I know they weren't exactly averaging great numbers on the rushing game. They only had 37 carries for 99 yards. But it was something about the way they were just committed to trying to get that thing started. You run the ball 37 times, that tells me you are trying to establish the running game. Now, Minnesota is not a slouch. So, again, we might not have been able to do that.
And let me add a good analogy to what Tidy was saying. Let me add a good analogy. You know when you go out there and get ready to cut the grass, and you pull that string so many times, it just would not start.
Right.
If you just pre-prime it and do it the correct way,
right.
It cranks up on the first pull. That's what Atlanta did say.
See, y'all different to me. If it don't work on the third pull, I'm calling the yard people down the street. Tell them, hey man, I'm gonna need y'all to come hit this grass.
I said, now from the top. We didn't even have to pull more than one.
Yeah.
On that first interception, I said,
Oh yeah.
There's a defensive side, and to add to what you said, I really didn't hear Oliver's name. And let you know. And another thing, Steven, what I noticed, just like I put in the comment, it was less zone. We are a man-to-man.
You said yes, please.
Less zone. You see the result.
And maybe that's and we went a lot more man last year in the second half of the season.
That's the point I was making.
We absolutely did.
We're not designed for a zone. We're designed for a man team. That zone get us cooked, and that's what made everybody look bad. But when you reach around to that man, it puts everybody in the place because everybody has to see for that.
There were only 1 or 2 plays where I saw, and I talked earlier about the last touchdown by Jefferson when Sheffield bit. Yeah. Sheffield bit real good on that, and again, Jefferson looked like he's got the tools, but at the same time, I was a little disturbed by that. But other than that, it was a really solid game. Even when they were making catches. Some of the catches they were making were tough. That Thielen catch, dude, AJ did everything but do pass interference on him.
That wasn't bad.
And that's just a good catch.
No, that was just a good catch.
And that's what I see. Listen, give me. I also want to. Why you here, just to let people know too. I'm gonna give another game ball to Younghoe Koo. I'm gonna tell you what, folks. Oh, yeah. Those 4 field goals, and listen, you want to score a touchdown every single time you have.
Yeah.
But he was pretty automatic today. And before he got hurt, and they said it was lingering, since he's been back, he's been pretty solid. And
with that lead, Steven, not to cut you off.
No, you good.
That I am not missing anything.
Yeah.
That's a plus, because 3 points is better than no points at all. With a lead, with the drive, you rather get something out of there. You don't want to go down there and just be unsuccessful at all.
Well, right before they scored that last one, he kicked that field goal to make it a 4 possession lead. That's a big deal because you want to. Then you can play a little bit different. But I noticed the Falcons really didn't go away from man. They really didn't. If you think about it, got burned a little bit by the tight end.
Out of the ball, Steve. In your perspective, what does that show you? It was who was leading. It was who. Yeah. It was the head of the state. That's what it was. When you top that head off the state, the body starts moving. That's exactly what I've seen today.
And I'm gonna mention this one more time, Greg, and just to tell me your thoughts of it, because you don't see it all the time, and it was early. When I saw Raheem and Obrecht get that little hug on the sidelines after they stopped that 4th down, there was something about that to me that was a little bit different. I said, and my son was sitting here with me, and I said, oh, there's something different going on. You don't see that a lot between coaches and it was early in the game.
Yeah.
They did that early. Something different going on with those guys.
How long it been since we yelled and celebrated and cheered for a successful goal line stand?
It's most of the time we on the other end of it. So most of the time we the team not getting the first down. So it's been a while since we've done that, man.
Man, it's a good feeling. I ain't hit the ball today. I think it was good, but I probably would have celebrated too, buddy. But I'm gonna take this win, and I like. Let me tell you one more thing for you.
No, it's all good. Go ahead.
Look, I like the strategy that Raheem Morris said. We take it 1 game at a time. We're shooting for 1-0 every week. I love the way that sounds.
That's how you have to sound, man. I mean, when you can't overlook anybody when you're 1-5. I'm glad we're 1-5 instead of 0-6, but you can't overlook anybody anymore, brother. You know I need you first up tomorrow when we do the recap tomorrow, Monday evening recap.
Another thing, Steven, we got to go ahead and fight Detroit the same way, because you got to remember these teams that's low wins and little winners like we are, they're very, very hungry, and they're showing it can be done.
One game.
Got to knock them out the same way.
Yes, sir. 1 game. Detroit is just as hungry as we are. Trust me. Trust me. Brother, you have a great Sunday night, brother, and we'll talk to you tomorrow, okay?
Okay, sounds good. You be easy, man.
Be good, brother. I am so encouraged by what I saw today. That is not even funny. I am so encouraged, and it is really, kind of interesting when you look at what we did in its totality. That was really a good win today, folks. Carla, how you doing today? This is Steve. Thanks. Welcome to the post game. Identify yourself for me.
Hey, this is Ricky.
What's up, man?
Hey.
What's going on, buddy?
Say, I got one more thing to say.
Talk to me.
Let me clear this up.
Talk.
Because I need to get this out in the open. Okay?
Go ahead.
I want people to stop having the mentality that we got the tank to get Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields. Listen to me.
Please speak.
Listen to me. Marcus Mariota, first round. Number 1. Jameis Winston. Number 2. Well, that's 1, 2, right?
That's 1, 2.
Essentially, we're looking at Trevor being 1, Justin being 2, right?
Absolutely.
Essentially. All right? Let's look at that. Mariota and Jameis Winston.
Oh, they hyped them big time.
Johnny Manziel.
Woo!
Josh Rosen.
Oh, man.
These boys were clowning in college, right? Straight.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Heisman Trophy winners, am I right?
Yeah, Brother Jameis. Yes, sir.
Where are they at now? No, Marcus was a finalist. So where are they at now?
Jameis is picking up Taysom Hill's jockstrap down in New Orleans.
Right. Not Drew Brees. Taysom Hill. Not Drew Brees.
Yeah, Taysom Hill. Absolutely. Mariota is holding the clipboard for Derek Carr. Josh Rosen is somewhere between Publix and probably Walmart. And I don't know. But he ain't playing. So let me ask, because I want to ask people this question.
Are you going to go to work and say, I'm not going to work for the rest of the year because I'm trying to get this one person on the team? How long do you think you're going to keep your job? You're not going to keep your job. So if you think that these folks is going to tank because everybody's livelihood is on the line right now, be it Raheem, be it Dirk Cutter, be it the man who's running the defense, be it Deion Jones, be it Matt Ryan, be it Julio Jones. Everybody is right now on blast. Everybody. Octavia's got some names to add to your list. Vince Young, Jamarcus Russell, Joey Harrington. All can't miss guys. All can't miss, right? Can't miss guys. All of them. Oh, let's even know. How about the one we got? Vic Beasley. Woo! So everybody looking at all of these, they say, oh, look how Trevor look at this and look at that. Trevor Lawrence is a product of the Clemson Tiger system. True. Hello? True. So why you think Tom Brady is having such a hard time right now? Why? He is out of the Josh McDaniels system. And he does not know how to operate because that's the only thing he knows. From the time we got to get this mentality that we got to have these two boys because that's all they are, is a quarterback. But if the quarterback don't have a clue, because when you come out of college and go to the NFL, the gameplay is on turbo. So if you it ain't like you looking at this. See, people look at what Lawrence did yesterday and like, oh, we got to have him set 5 touchdowns before halftime. Who was you playing? That Georgia Tech team. Do that to Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech had about 8 out of 11 folks on that defense were freshmen. Them boys were freshmen. I hope Georgia Tech avenges that 2 or 3 years from now when Lawrence is gone, because Debo could have slowed that down a little bit. Debo ran that up on them yesterday. But see, people are so enamored with what they see coming out of college, not understanding that these boys got to make a transition from the college. Joe Burrow is catching it right now. Yeah, he is. As bad as Joe Burrow was last year, Joe Burrow is catching it right now. Why? Because the NFL is different from the college ranks. It is. Tighter windows. You got different. You got to wait till a play develops. If you ain't got an offensive line that can keep you upright to wait for the play to develop, that play that transitions from college to pro may never happen. So we got to get that out of our mentality. Saying we got to tank to get Trevor Lawrence, a tank to get. I don't want to tank nothing. If Raheem Morris win 11 games, I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna be just as happy as I want to. Why? Because I ain't got no losing season. Who wants to lose just to get one person? I'm done seeing. Hold on, don't go anywhere.
And even to your point, you made the biggest point you made is my argument when people talk about just tanking for them. There are some talented quarterbacks coming out this year.
Tell him all.
And if you oh my good my buddy Lance
exactly.
if you get the right coordinator, King came, he was at Houston, right? And then went to Miami. And if you look at his skill set, if you get the right OC in here who can bring a scheme that can accentuate their talents, then you will win. It doesn't have to automatic. People are thinking we plug in Lawrence and all of a sudden we become Kansas City.
Yeah, that's what they thought of Cincinnati. But that's what happened. They still dealing with that with Baker Mayfield in Cleveland.
Oh, but yeah. Ask Baker today how he feel about that number 1 overall.
What did he say? He's still feeling dangerous? Is he still feeling dangerous? And how long he's been there?
You know me and my son mess with him every time. Ever since he did that, I feel dangerous.
His word just smacked them all upside the head. So you got to understand, it's not the quarterback, it's what why was Tom Brady successful? He was in the New England Patriot system set up by Bill Belichick, who was a disciple of Bill Parcells.
And listen, let me make it clear. Dexter brings up something that I want to address. He says, "I'm sorry, but Trevor Lawrence is the truth. I've seen him do it versus Alabama and a few other teams. With any rookie, you put with any other rookie, you better put an offensive line in front of him.
This guy hold him up because Burrow don't look like he did in LSU last year. I'm playing with Cincinnati right now. Burrow don't look the part. Mayfield don't look the part. He don't look it.
It's a
There's got to be something because I still see Fitzgerald slinging the ball from Miami. Tua sitting on the sideline. Let's be real.
Everybody keeps coming in. Hey Dre, call me in 30 seconds. Ricky gonna get off and I'm gonna let you call in, Dre. I apologize. Listen, Trevor Lawrence is a talented young man. Yeah. I am not saying he won't be successful possibly when he gets to the NFL. He's got to have the right folks in the system. That's all I'm saying.
Around his skill set, he's going to look just like Mariota. He's going to look just like Jameis Winston.
And how many years, Ricky, have since Peyton Manning came in, who I can honestly say, Peyton Manning was the last quarterback in that, unless somebody brings it to my attention, was the last quarterback that I can honestly say lived up to the hype as the number 1.
Look how many seasons did, because his first season was a buzz.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm talking about from as far as eventually lived up to the hype. When you talk about number 1 overall, I'm not saying he doesn't have his struggles. He didn't have his struggles to get there. But what I'm saying is that you would think that Trevor Lawrence, we might as well just go ahead and make Super Bowl reservations the way that folks are just fawning all over with him and acting like he's the next best thing. We have been having the next best thing since Peyton came out of Tennessee. And we know who the best next things come? They come in the 6th round to New England. They come in the 3rd round to Seattle. They come number 20 to Green Bay. They come to
Kansas City.
Number 15. What was he? 12? He was.
I think it was 12.
It was 3 guys picked before him.
Andy Reid knew what he wanted. Not Andy Reid. Andy Reid knew what he wanted.
And
the quarterback he needed, and he went and took that boy and stopped off the ball because first of all, he couldn't even believe he was still there. That was the thing. You hear him say after the draft, I couldn't believe Patrick was still there. Look at Patrick Mahomes right now. You know why Patrick Mahomes? Everybody looking at him, and everybody want a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
In Andy Reid's system. That's why he's successful.
We need the system first, then we can figure out who the quarterback. Let Andre get in here right quick, Rick. I'm gonna holler at you, brother.
All right.
Thank you, brother. Listen. I'm trying to tell y'all. It does not have to be Trevor Lawrence. It really doesn't. And on the day that we win in the game and our quarterback is putting up 30 for 40, and I get it. Don't get me wrong. I know we're ready to put Matt out the pasture. But I'll also say it is not automatic that Trevor Lawrence is going to be the next best, the next great thing. It's really not. I see you, Dave. Dave said if we get a chance, look at Zach Wilson. I actually saw Zach Wilson last night in that game. That was on last night against Houston, and he's really good. He's really good. I did see that yesterday. And for the record, when Ricky was talking about it, and Joe Burrow is taking his lumps. But I will tell you this about Joe Burrow. I like what I see out of Joe Burrow in his first year, and I like better than I saw with Baker. I liked what I saw from him as a quarterback more than what I've seen from Baker Mayfield. I'm not saying that he's going to be that much, like the next Aaron Rodgers, but I do like what I see out of him as a rookie. And that's so funny. And I knew, these things are going to happen, folks. When you have a team that lost 5 straight games and we won one, you would think that the meat of the conversation would be about what we've done today. But this is the reality of the Atlanta Falcons. So I don't want anybody to get ticked off. That's not what we're trying to do. We celebrate the win, but we keep it real to say we still got some stuff. I see you, brother Shin. Shin say he's the best thing since Peyton Manning. He is Peyton Manning that can run. Y'all keep tripping on this. I want to see you in this call is saying this next year when he wins Rookie of the Year. I like the Lance kid too. If Green Bay Packers can draft Love with their first round pick this past year, then who are the Falcons to pass on Trevor Lawrence? But here's the thing, Shin. I think you're thinking folks are hating on Trevor Lawrence. Listen to me. If we get the number 1 pick overall, if we get it, I'm not saying don't get Trevor Lawrence. I think my point is if we end up 6-10, if we end up 6-10, we may not get a chance because I guarantee you the Jets going to get them. I don't care what Darnold doing. I guarantee you more than shoot. I don't know how much faith they got in the Giants up there. I'm not sure. So there's no guarantee that we will get to number 1 overall pick. And I think that's what frustrates me. It's like, if we don't get Trevor, we suck. So maybe if that's, I'm not saying that's what you're saying, Shin, but I am saying that we'll be fine if we don't get Trevor Lawrence. And you're absolutely right. Trevor might be the Rookie of the Year and all of this and all that. But just to say, let's give it all up and go straight for Trevor like he's the savior and all of that, that's just a little far from me. Octavia said we don't have to go for a big name as quarterback as long as that quarterback comes in and makes the right decisions. It can move around. Octavius, I see you. Twan says it's a great win, but the Vikings have owned us the past 4 5. They have. The Vikings has tore us up. And I see you, Sheehan, say the Jets, Vikings, Lions, Giants will all pick Lawrence. Yeah, because this is Kurt's last year. Yeah. Oh, absolutely they will. Absolutely they will. And I'm not saying, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not telling you that he's not going to be all of that. I'm saying we'll be fine if we don't get him at the number 1 overall first or second, because it's obviously he's not going to go past 1 or 2. He said, no, I'm saying that we can get Matt's replacement, and I'm a Matt Ryan fan. I've been now, yeah, it ain't had nothing to do with being a Matt fan. I get you, and I know you have. Me and you talk about that quite a bit. It's not about that. I think my point is, if we get, like, say for instance, Shin, we end up with the 6th pick. The teams you just named, Jets, Vikings, Giants, Lions, are not going to give him up. They're not going to give that pick up. So I was just given an alternative to say, if we don't end up getting him, life will go on. Whether he goes out and becomes the next best thing or not. In this world where everybody thinks Tom Brady is just the end-all, be-all, in the 20 years, Tom has won 6. There are 14 other times that it wasn't Tom Brady. So as long as we can get 1 or 2 in there, we're fine. And I don't have a problem with Justin Fields either. I like Lance, though. That's if we get the right person teaching him, I like Lance. I see my brother Joe coming in here and saying, I think Darnell is injured. Flacco is starting today, and that's the other thing, Joe, because Darnell, I keep calling him Darnold, is he really is. That's another one that he really hasn't lived up to the hype. Not yet. I don't think he has. I just don't think he's the guy. I really don't. Jimmy Wayne, what's going on, brother? Jimmy says Trey Lance is more viable. We still need defense. We do need defense. I would agree with that. But I'm also feeling Shin to say, listen, if we have the number 1 overall pick, I'm not gonna get protest signs and say don't get Lawrence. I mean, that would be kind of foolish. If he has skill sets like he does. I guess my bigger point is, in the interest of Falcons winning or losing games, which it sounds like sometimes everyone wants us to start losing, I think I want my team to win. I don't think we're going to make the playoffs. I think, honestly, and if I were honest with myself, especially looking at the gauntlet that we have to deal with near the end of the year, when we haven't even played the AFC yet. We haven't played Kansas City, Oakland, Chargers, or Denver yet. And Denver, whatever, but we'll get to them in a second. Then we got to still deal with our nemesis down there in the Bayou twice. And we haven't played Captain America since he's changed teams. So I'm not foolish enough to think that we're going to run off 11. But I am saying, do I think we can sneak 6? I think we can. And 6 and 10 is not going to get you the number 1 pick overall. I guess that's why my mentality is leaning towards, let's see what's out there other than Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields. Now, we end up by chance 3-13, 2-14, and we get the first round pick. I'll be the first one going to get a number 16 jersey in vapor white. But right now, I'm just saying, that's just how I feel about that. Gray says Rodgers has thrown 2 picks. First was a pick 6. That's what I'm saying. And look, even the best have horrible games. Rodgers had a horrible game against us. So we're going to need a big receiver since we pass on DK Metcalf. It'll be interesting to see from a wide receiver standpoint what we do, though, Joe, because we're going to have to pay Ridley in 2 years. Ridley's coming up on that option I think next year is his 4th year. And so his 5th-year option is coming up, and I know that's not cheap. Brother Sheehan says, the tight end, only reason I would want this team to win is for Raheem Morris. This team played hard for him to. I'm going to tell you what, man. Raheem needs to get a lot of credit. This could have gone like real bad. This could have gone, you know what, y'all? The GM are gone. The GM who brought me in here, every person on this team, Matt is the oldest person on the team now, if I'm not mistaken. Well, not the oldest. He's the oldest tenured Falcon on this team. So being the oldest tenured Falcon, everybody on that team right now was hired by Thomas Dimitroff. Every single person. So whoever is coming to evaluate this team next that's taking over could care less about anybody who was in Thomas Dimitroff's regime. So today was audition number 1. Audition number 2 comes right here in Atlanta against Detroit. And when you start looking at the future of the Falcons, you see some things to build around. Boy, I'm hoping we re-sign Hurst. Ridley is definitely a keeper. I like what I see out of Gage, man. And like I said, not as the super receiver, as the go get the first down receiver. You see flashes of Zacchaeus out there. I see some good things with the offensive line that we have. There's some good things. There's still some bad things right now. Sandy brings up the point and said we still need a safety. That's a glaring weakness right now. And we're going to probably address that too, Sandy, because I'm not sure. I don't know what their plans are for Neal. I think Neal had a really good game today, but he's been really inconsistent as well. You can't keep Ricardo around here after next year. All that coach on the field stuff is going out the window. We need talent. Foyer, you're absolutely right, Brandon. You got to re-sign Aluakon. You better re-sign Aluakon. That boy all over the place. Looking like what Sean Witherspoon wanted to be when he was here. I mean, you really need to start looking at some of these cats. These are some guys that you really start when you look at the future. You have to think about starting to keep. Carla, how you doing today? This is Steve on the post game. Identify yourself for us.
What's up, man? It's Brandon, man. What's happening?
My brother Brandon, I just read something off for you. What did you think about today, my brother?
Man, they was playing inspired football today, man. They was playing inspired today like you haven't seen that from this team all year, man.
What did you see that was the biggest adjustment? I don't even say adjustment. What was the biggest difference you saw in how these guys were playing over the first 5 weeks compared to today?
I think the biggest thing today was the defense was really, really playing stout today. I mean, they were turning the ball over. They was hitting, running. Offense was, maintaining drives forward. And to me, it's always tough to be the team that turns the ball over and scores.
Right. What was that just me too, Brandon? The open field tackling today was on display today. Most of those times early in this year when you saw the one-on-one, when the receiver caught the ball and had about 2 yards in front of them, that they would miss that. Was it just me, or we worked on some tackling drills over the last week?
Yeah, and I gotta agree with you there because tackling is really something that it's I say it's called want to. You gotta want to bring a guy down, and that's one of the most underrated aspects of the game. Blocking and tackling is the fundamentals.
Absolutely. I like the comment, Dante Fowler, and I keep bringing it up, that he said Raheem made them feel uncomfortable. And to me, when you talk about grown men, and I just made the point, every single person on this team this year was hired by Tom at one time or another, was hired by Thomas Dimitroff. So for that matter, everybody's on the hot seat. So you should play well.
And that's correct. I mean, you got to understand, and I know you understand this, that right now everybody's auditioning for their job.
Without a doubt. Everybody's on monsters.com right now trying to get their resume straight. Who's your game ball for the day, Brandon? Who showed out for you today?
I think Julio got to get a game ball, but I really like Fourier, man. I really like Fourier. Fourier looks like he's the real deal next to Dion. And I'm gonna tell you something too. That boy, AJ Terrell played well.
AJ,
you know, he gave up some big catches.
AJ
played well to me.
AJ played very well. You mentioned Fourier again. I would make an argument over the first 6 games, and of course, the way the defense played the first 5, you can't really give a lot of superlatives. But I think he's been the second best defensive player next to Grady this year on the team. I honestly think so. If you think about how much field he's covering, he's covering the field, even though we did have a Deion Jones sighting today. I think Fourier has played a better linebacker this year than Debo.
I think so too. I think partially because Deion is playing
out of position.
He's playing out of position.
Yeah.
You know, he's really a wheel. But
True.
You know, when you look at somebody like Fourier, you look at a Deion, I can understand what Dan Quinn was trying to mold in these faster, smaller linebackers to cover a lot of space.
True. And that's something as we're talking about needs for next year. Obviously, people are talking about the future. That other linebacker is critical, and we've got to have the 3 safety deal. Whatever, I know what they're doing because Neal is kind of a half linebacker, half safety. I get it, but you need that other linebacker on this team. To your point, when you talk a natural, strong, a wheel, a mic, and you absolutely got to have that third linebacker in the mix to make this team successful, in my opinion.
I agree. If you look at the LSU linebackers in the league, they all are successful. If you look at that guy down in Tampa, he's one of the best Mike linebackers in the NFL with White.
I can't stand playing him now. When we got and I think people were talking about drafting him because he went later than they thought, right? Because he went 2nd round, right?
He went 2nd round.
Yeah, because they were projecting him. They were projecting him 1st round on a couple of boards, and I was hoping we would have got a chance to swing around and get him. But yeah, he's going to be a difference maker down there in Tampa. Brother, I want you to join. I want you to call me tomorrow, man. We're going to do the recap tomorrow on Monday. So give me a ring, man. Good to holler at you today, okay?
For sure. Appreciate you taking my call, Steve.
Thank you, Brandon. I look, I did say Patrick Queen is really good. Yeah, that's another LSU guy. And look, y'all talking about LSU guys. Y'all didn't mention Duke Riley. I'm just joking. So yeah, before y'all start calling me. That Duke Riley be balling. Nah, I'm just playing. Oh man, Gregory said Gage made Sanu expendable. Gage, listen, I told people when they traded Sanu last year to New England, I told folks we're fine because Gage is gonna end up being that guy, and I love me some Bean, but where's Bean now? Bean got cut last week. Bean got cut by Frisco. So, you know, I think that was one of the better moves we made. And this receiving core is a pretty good core. We got folks that can catch this ball. We just got to make sure we spread that thing around. Try a program like they did today. Again, they tried to run 37 times. Wasn't as successful today. I attribute a lot of that to Minnesota. That front 4 in Minnesota, there's some beef eaters right there. Them cats are some huge boys. So I give credit where credit is due. Minnesota came with a plan to stuff that run today. And we gashed them a little bit. We did some good things. But at the end of the day, we did come away with a 40-23 victory today. I loved what I saw out of our quarterback. Again, I think Matt hears the whispers, man. Matt listening to T.I. Matt was listening to T.I. He was probably listening. I know he was listening to a T.I. song and he got motivated. He said, man, T.I. said I should leave. I don't want to leave. I'm just joking about that. But Matt responded today. That was a very good outing from your veteran quarterback. That was a very my departure is premature, folks. I still got some left. Matt was throwing a good ball today. I know that's our knock for him. Matt was throwing a really good ball. I'm trying to tell you. He said Duke is trash. I knew I shouldn't have mentioned Duke Riley. I was just messing with Charlie. Oh, I said Duke was the garbage truck juice. Oh, man. Hey, Brother Rusty, what's going on, man? I have not heard. Rusty said, I see the video they made with the running back from the Vikings. We're just, again, you're Rusty. That was a clear disrespect when they made that little Alexander Madison video. They thought that little young guy was going to run for 100 yards. Uh-oh. You know what, Dan? I thought that was a call. You know what that was? That was a political phone call, which I'm sure y'all have got thousands of over the weeks. But yeah, I thought that was pretty jacked up. That they made a whole 30-second vignette about this rookie who ended up 10 carries, 26 yards. And keeping it real, he had one rush for 16 yards. But we had a whole Alexander Hamilton parody for this guy. And, that just, to me, that was just something that was just out of what the mess was that. Hey, caller, how you doing today? This is Steve on the post game. Identify yourself.
Hey, Rich.
What's going on, King? How you doing, man? What's going on? I see y'all. I see you out there, man. What you think, man? What do we do? How you think about today's game?
Man, that's old thing. Coaching matter. I don't want to hear no one else say coaching don't matter.
It does make you wonder.
Because the way it looks to me like y'all really was trying to get that man out of there anyway to do what y'all really wanted to do from the beginning, but he wouldn't let you do it.
It's a suggestion that they might have wanted somebody like Raheem in there.
But you gotta understand, I never understood why you running the zone scheme with all the players that you drafted play man. Even True Bunt played man. His knock was the zone scheme.
King, I found it interesting that last year when we made our little mini run in the second half, we went more man.
We were playing more man, but then soon we got comfortable and then we went back to prevent. Today, notice the way he disguised Tampa 2 on that first play.
Yes.
Debo picked off the ball.
Absolutely.
We're playing straight up so they know what we're playing. See, Minnesota thought they was going to come play cover 3. They
right.
was going to come play zone.
Right.
We stayed on their neck with man. You seen Blitzy, you seen Suns, you seen, man, the way he mixed that up, you can't really tell what they was doing. It wasn't predictable. I couldn't even say.
And King, when you think about it, the only success in the first half were from the tight ends. When you think about the wide receivers,
with the tight ends had stuff with that today. I guess they went. I thought they were gonna stick with the tight ends, but they didn't. Okay, good game.
Right.
So I noticed that tight ends were the only thing really eating the whole game.
Yeah. And though my brother Jefferson did get open a little bit near the game, couple of technique things from Sheffield at the end that I didn't like, but I also got to give Jefferson a little bit of credit. He was balling last year in college, and he looked like he's going to be fierce in the NFL too, though.
Yes, but see, one thing I still like about it, they made him get the ball. It wasn't just he just don't sit out here in his zone and let you eat.
Right.
Space 5-10 yards off our man and give you that free space. We didn't give him no free space the whole game. You gonna beat us, you gonna beat us.
And I like the fact too, King, that we were missing two folks who are actively part of that defensive line rotation. Yeah, we got to him a couple of times. I'm still needing a little bit more. I guess I'm greedy. I saw them hit him once or twice. I want to see him hit him 6 or 7 times in the end of the day. But to your point, I think I would rather us stick. I'll take my chances on man coverage and as opposed to these little 20-yard space eater zones that they're doing the first 5 games.
What I liked about keeping it in man was they kept Neal in the box.
That's true.
Kept him in the box. And I'm going to tell you one thing that I've seen that I noticed even with Matt Ryan. If you look at their eyes when they were playing that game, they look like the whole person in the eyes. You didn't see that Mr. Nice Guy looking Matt Ryan.
You saw Matt get on Hennessy for missing that block.
Yeah.
In that game, Matt said, "My game is on the line. I don't want to leave Atlanta yet. I'm trying to stay here. We know it's inevitable, but at the same time, I'm like, y'all not just gonna push me out because T.I. said it. Y'all gonna respect me."
No, I mean, fact, even though I give him hell, he's not a bad quarterback, but y'all got to block for him.
That's true.
Give that man time. He can't carve up. I've seen him do it plenty of times.
Today was a perfect example. King, give me your game ball player of the day.
Ooh, well, it's a lot of them, but I have to give it to a Louis because I always said there was something special about Louis. You never find many people picking players from Yale. So to pick a man from there, and you already know his mindset is a certain way anyway.
He's gonna be the next Grady story, man. Low round pick and earn his keep. He's been balling. Like I told everybody, he's the second best defensive player this year so far for us, other than Grady. I think Grady has 8 all league.
The reason why I think so is because something I noticed today was Debo talked to him on the sideline. Right. Picking up everything. Debo already knows he's playing out of position. But once they get another linebacker, Debo already know what he's going to do. He showed you today.
And that's why I'm hoping whoever ends up doing, they can use these players like they need to. My brother King, I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for giving me a ring, man.
Man, anytime.
Thank you, brother. I hear y'all. I look at Sandy says trade tack now. Listen, here's the problem with tack. You're not gonna get more than probably a 4th round for tack. And remember, Sandy, tack is ticked. And because he's ticked off, I think that groin injury, it's funny, Julio's come back from groin. Somebody else had a little groin injury. I'm trying to think, was that Grady that had a slight groin? And I'm not saying the man is faking it, but I'm talking about, remember, he's already disgruntled. He's already 1 foot out of the door in Atlanta. What do you think he's going to do? He's going to take his sweet time to get all of that taken care of before he comes out on this field. Now, it will be more interesting if the Falcons were to string together a couple of wins and become competitive to see if he does want to come. Because remember, the first game, he came out there swinging. But since then, he's been kind of hemmed up. So I don't know. There's a part of me that says you might have seen the last. I don't want to say seen the last, but I'm not sure you're going to see a lot more attack. mean, and if you get what you got out of Bailey and what you've been getting out of Harris pretty soon, I don't know. I don't know. Cam says, if that, I doubt if we get a fourth. Yeah. Yeah. You're probably not. And yeah, it's better. I guess it's better than nothing to a certain extent, but I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. So Tech has to play if he wants to get some money in the free agency. That's the thing about this whole thing, too, when you talk about it, Brandon. Everybody's on display. Everybody's auditioning. They see what's going. And you know what Tech is gonna unfortunately follow that other NFL teams might see? The Atlanta evaluation. They evaluated Vic Beasley the same way. And while Vic had the one unforgettable season he did in 2016, I'm not denying that. But since then, Vic was not that guy. It was a Dimitrov guy. Tack is a Dimitrov guy. Tack seems to be following that same pattern that Vic did. Might have had a little bit of a motor, but maybe not as good as people think. And just like Tennessee took an opportunity and took a chance on signing Vic to 1 year, and I think at last check, unless he got a sack today or a tackle, Vic had one half tackle for all year. And he signed a 1 year, $9 million contract. Tack, people are going to look at him in the same way and say, oh, you got big by Atlanta. You know how they overreach on their athletes. So when Atlanta declined his option, I think other teams are probably looking at, I don't know if I want to do that. I'm not sure. Rusty says, this is exactly why you don't hesitate to pull the plug on a coach. It can change the mentality of the team. This should have been done week 5 last season. They seem to play tougher and more motivated today. With that being said, I don't want to get too high because it's game 1. They would need to do this again next week, but you get my point. No, I get you completely, Rusty. Look, this is bittersweet, not only to win, but to win like you did. Because on one hand, you're happy about the win, but on the other hand, you're ticked off because you say, we could have been getting this type of performance from you guys before had we changed coaches last year. These are basically the same players. Aside of AJ, these are the same players. And we went to Minnesota last year and got drugged. I know Dalvin's not there, but still. This is basically the same team. So what's the difference? The head coach. And it is. It's the, oh man, I'm happy we winning, but dang, why couldn't we close the door? If we close it, and now you start thinking about what ifs. What if anybody knew to fall on the ball in an onside kick? You're 2-3. What if anybody could have made a tackle in Chicago? We're 3-2. But the overused, you are who your record says you are. Hey, it's true. Michael says, Steve, you're killing me. The rise up slogan left with Quinn. Let's leave it behind, please. Well, here's the thing, Michael, and I tell everybody this about slogans, and I mean this sincerely. Slogans are great when you're winning. If we were 3-2, everybody on here would be rising up and saying all that. Slogans are what they are. I'm still gonna say rise up because I'm still a Falcon fan. I still call the Falcons Dirty Bird, and that was back in the late 90s. When you're winning, it's all good. When you're losing, all of a sudden you start picking on it. I saw a lot of posts where people were picking on names and stuff like that and things. It's okay. I get it. But start winning, Mike, I promise you that Rise Up might come back more than you think it will. Renee said the Brotherhood left with Quinn. We can't rise up anymore. Well, Rise Up was before Quinn. So Rise Up was already here. But again, y'all, it's not even about slogans. It's not about slogans. It's about winning. Win the game. If you don't want to say Rise Up, don't say it. But I guarantee you this. They start winning again. Y'all gonna dust off some of them Rise Up t-shirts and them Rise Up, what are those things they call them when they pull? They used to give them at the game, the little, y'all help me out. I don't know what you call it. That's what you need to do. Win the game. Sandy said, Raheem got them boys acting like a fool now. Him and the DC is pretty special. I hope so. I hope so. So I get what everybody's saying. He said, Brandon says, just win, baby. And hey, Oakland been using that forever, and they ain't won the Super Bowl in 20-some, 30 years. Again, now all of a sudden they win a little bit, and I heard it this week. Don't get caught up in slogans. It'll be all right. We didn't just win; we dominated the Vikings. We did. Kirk Cousins is gonna have to answer for some of that stuff. That 3 interceptions, and he looked bad. 2 of them were straight interceptions. That one got the tip, whatever. But 2 of those look bad. Kirk Cousins has always been overrated to me. I never thought. Only time I like Kirk Cousins when he beat the Saints. And you don't, your resume doesn't have to have a lot. If you can beat the Saints, you're all right with me. Said Cam, what can we get for Isaiah Oliver? Bum behind. I'm sorry, but he gotta go. Listen, I don't think Isaiah's gonna be here much longer than whatever his 4th year of his contract, or if we bring somebody else in here. You don't have to worry about that. You really don't. Real says our quarterback played winning football today, and that's good that he did. That's good that he did. But he's on the clock. He should be playing good football. And I'm thinking, I'm trying to remember. Forgive me. I think that was Brandon or oh man, I can't remember who. Either Brandon or King that was saying the look in their eyes, the looks on their face was a little different today. And it was. The difference between a winning team and a losing team. You follow your leaders. Your leaders lead. Why y'all think Alabama beat the snot out of Georgia yesterday? Y'all actually think if Sark was on that sideline leading Alabama, they would have beat Georgia? I know Alabama fans say, yeah. About leaders, man. About leaders. Cam said Kirk Cousins got guaranteed money. He don't care at this point. Hey, and at that time, what was it? 3 years, $80-some million guaranteed? You're probably right. Because he know that's probably the last huge contract he's going to get. Homer, if I could pick on the defense, I still didn't like our pass rush at all. And Homer, I mentioned that, the defensive line, though we're down a couple of folks, Big Marlin and Kaminsky on the COVID list this week. So we were missing some guys. Yeah, we still need that interior rush. Because if we can just get some love with the 4 players, it makes everybody else look good. Now, today, it was on the other side. Minnesota, their 4 guys, they were getting some pressure. But when you remember, they only started getting pressure when they went to the blitz. When they start bringing that corner off. They start bringing folks off the corner. They were getting a little bit of love. But for the most part, I just think yeah, we probably need a little more help on the defensive side. On the line. Grady can't do it by himself. Grady needs a lot of help. And I think that's where when you start talking about new regimes and new folks coming in, and even whether it was I don't know, just it should have made we should have gotten some better help for the defensive line. I know Marlon, we still have yet to reap that, but we need to. I see Cam says he just signed 2-year extension in March for 66. Really? Did he? I missed to show you how much I pay attention to him, Cam. I missed that. Brandon said Minnesota didn't have an answer for the passing attack. Yeah. Homer says Fowler is MIA. Yeah, it's hard, man. We're 6 games in, and what is he at? 1.5 sacks this year. So, Homer, I'm trying my best to give him an opportunity. I'm trying my best to give him an opportunity to earn his keep. But to your point, Homer, it's ugh. Brother Randy, how you doing, man? Don't be surprised if we go on a winning streak. I still have mixed emotions. Randy, I think you're feeling like most of us. There's a part of me, listen, I'm Falcon all the day through, and I want the Falcons to win every possible game. If we messed around and win 9 games and went 9-7 and missed the playoffs, I'll be like, oh man, but we at least won 9 games. Because I'm not going to root against. Can y'all see yourselves coming down? Here's a dilemma. I'm going to give it to y'all. Y'all answer me. And I know this is not how the schedule is, so don't come back and say, that's not the schedule, Steve. Say if we are 3-12 and you go into the last game in New Orleans. You lose the game, you get the number 1 overall pick. You win the game, you beat New Orleans. What would you want the Falcons to do? I'm never rooting for the Falcons to lose against the Saints. I don't care what is going on. So to Randy's point, it is kind of a mixed bag. I would never root for I see Brandon says beat New Orleans. Cam says lose. Yeah, see, Cam, I'm sorry, bro. Yeah. Sorry, bro. I got Corey said, don't be fooled. Y'all Minnesota's not good, especially without Dalvin Cook. I still say 4-12. Yeah. Michael said, lose. Come on, Mike. Come on, brother. Oh, don't lose. Homer, lose. Man, Falcons got y'all depressed, man. Don't lose to the Saints. To the Saints, y'all. I didn't say to Tampa Bay. I said to the Saints. Oh, thank you, Sandy. Sandy says win. Said Keith said that's foolish pride. What you talking to? The smart answer is to lose. You would lose to yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's not foolish pride. That's winning a game. I'm sorry. If you go to play and knock people out to win the game. You don't go into a physical game trying to lose. You've lost already. That you don't know. You win the game. Michael says, I want Lawrence. I hear you. That's most of the free world does. I got you. Cam says the only reason I say lose is because we can get the quarterback for the future and groom it for 2 years. Who guarantees he's going to be the great quarterback? There is no guarantee, folks. I want a new quarterback too. Don't get me wrong. I think we do. Rusty says, what if we tie? Oh man, no, you can't tie. Oh man, Cam said we could lose the Cobb High for all I care. Cam, you losing me, brother. But I feel listen. I get what y'all saying. In theory, you want to go out and lose to get back. I'm sorry. I'm old school that way. I can't let. I don't care if we're 0-15 and the other team is 0-15 and they'll lose and they say beat the Saints. I'm going to beat the Saints. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. Brad said Falcons going to keep fighting. They're not going to give up. Absolutely not. Brad said we can beat Detroit. Yeah, we can beat Detroit. Montoya says beat New Orleans. I believe you. Gregory says win the game. I say it again. So I am just baffled that y'all gave that answer. We're going to put, you know what? I'm going to put that up on my poll tomorrow when we do the recap. I'm going to put it, I haven't had a chance to use my poll thing on here. I'm going to put my poll up and ask that same question. If you knew that the difference between you getting the number 1 overall pick was to lose to the Saints, would you do it? I'm sorry. PJ says take the L. Oh, y'all are thinking Lawrence is automatic, aren't you? That is funny to me. And Gregory, it's not in me to root purposely to lose a game. I guess I'm just different. And like I said, we're all different, so I'm not talking about y'all seriously. I just say I'm just not rooting. Aside of rooting for my team to lose, I dang sure ain't rooting for my team to lose against our biggest rival. I'm never losing. I'm never going to do that. Cam says if we don't pick on True Fight all game, Cutter needs to be fought free immediately. Yeah. Sandy said we could trade for picks, but win at all costs. Yeah. Michael said, I love your spirit, but I'm thinking of our future. No, I hear you, Mike. You know I'm just messing with you. I get, and as I said earlier in the conversation, if we have the number 1 pick, I'm not dumb. I'm going to pick probably Trevor Lawrence if we have the number 1 overall pick. But I'm trying to get us mentally ready that this team, if this team shows up, if this Raheem team shows up the rest of the year, if these are the guys, we're going to win 6 games, at least. So if this team shows up and we win 6 games, guess what? We ain't going to get Trevor Lawrence. So my mentality is, okay, y'all, if we don't get Trevor Lawrence, are y'all leaving? Are y'all going to be so disappointed that you'll give up your fandom? Because there are other quarterbacks out there. I guess that's my biggest gripe with what y'all talking about. Kenzel said Lawrence reminded them of Sunshine from Remember. Reminded them of Sunshine from Remember the Titans. Oh, Kenzel, you gonna get it. Oh, that's pretty good. That's actually pretty good. Oh, man. Cam says, okay, honest question. If Raheem can pull off 6-7 wins, does he get an honest chance in becoming not 6 or 7? Anything less than 9. And I know Arthur Blank said 11. Remember, this is a 7-team playoff this year. If Raheem wins 9 and somehow sneaks us in the playoffs, he might get a legitimate opportunity. But with that legitimate opportunity, he's probably going to take that chance to get rid of Dirk. But yeah, that's the only way I see. He's got to win 9 games to be realistic. Got to. Rusty said, Gregory said there's a lot of college-made talent that was NFL exposed. Facts. Rusty, I hate myself for even thinking of this, but Some of the NFC teams that were expected to be good are 2-3. Let us go on a W streak and win and sneak into a wild card spot. They would make a 30 for 30 on it. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Michael says, no, I've been a fan for 50 years. I ain't going away. I know you weren't, Michael. You know I'm messing with you, my brother. You know I'm messing. Yeah, Dirk's got to go. Yeah, Dirk. Listen, as great as Matt played today, and I guarantee you Dirk probably called most of those plays. I'm over Dirk Cutter right now. Because even some of the play calling in this game, listen, we scored 40. We left, would y'all agree we probably left 3 touchdowns on the field today? I say we easily left at least 2 touchdowns from play calling. Easily. Cam says Dirk should have been gone. We had Matt LaFleur, and you see what he's doing with Green Bay. And, you know, if you start going back to thinking about decisions, Dan Quinn should have tried his best to keep Matt LaFleur that year instead of letting him escape to the Rams. He should have tried his best to keep him here. That was, yeah. I look back at that now, and shoot, we could have had him on the sidelines ready. King said we left 4. We did. We did. This should legitimately think about it, y'all. This was 40 points, and my man punted. How many times he punted? 4 times? He punted. Okay, he punted 2 times, but we still left points. Cook kicked 4 field goals. 2 of those easily should have been touchdowns. We should have been in the 50s. Easily. I know y'all saw it. I know you did. Just thinking we may have left points on the board. It's crazy. And you're right. It is. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Brad said fired Marquand, and he was good. The year we fired Marquand was the year everybody got hurt in that second game. Remember? In 2018. And Marquand became the scapegoat that year. Because that was the year Dan fired everybody and said, I got it. And that was stupid. That was dumb. RJ said, I'm rooting for Raheem and Ulbrich. 3 times, Cam said 3 times. Randy, I agree we could have scored 55 points at least with Julio. It obviously changed the dynamics of how defenses will play us. And listen, for those of you who don't think Julio doesn't make a difference, look at this game today. Julio commands a different defense. He commands different folks to check him. He demands safety shifting. And he demands that. So don't think that it's so automatic that when Julio's gone, we're gonna eat like we normally do. Armand said, I wish I could see Dan Quinn's face after that win. Dan Quinn seems like somebody I would love to go to a Little League game with and watch his children play. Because he is probably the most rah-rah, Pop Warner type guy that you would want teaching your kids. Your kids. I think this thing was over his head. Matter of fact, I'll take it one step further. I think Dan Quinn will be a great DC by himself. I mean, if all he had to do was the defense. I really do. I think the head coach thing was way over his head. And also remember the responsibilities he had. Because when Blank hired him, he and Thomas made personnel decisions. Remember how it was said but first that Dan reported to Arthur about the team? Dan was Thomas Dimitrov's lifeline. That's the only reason Thomas stayed the other 5 years. I got no hate towards Dan whatsoever. Julio is the queen of the chessboard. That's good. Timothy, Dan Quinn was too nice and accommodating. Good riddance. And you know what? There's probably a lot of truth in there, Timothy. He got too comfortable, probably. And when you got everybody liking you as a coach, notice how Bill Belichick, you never, ever, 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 ever hear, even from Tom Brady, man, I really love Coach, man. Coach is really great. Because Belichick don't care. He was like, Parcells didn't care. Parcells didn't call your name. Parcells just called you by number. That's how much he didn't care about you. And there's a team for Dan Quinn, y'all. Maybe not as a head coach, but he's going to get picked up somewhere. He still got to make his money from this year. But he's going to be all right. He's going to be fine. RJ seems to need a different OC, whether or not Cutter has had to go. How Julio 100% have the DQ going. He was emotional today. Might have been some of that. You never know. Listen, these guys, I give the Atlanta Falcons credit. The guys who come out there in front of the media, they are great media folks. They go out there and they say what they want. They say what's not going to cause controversy. And that's a good thing. That's what you want. Shin says our drafting of defense was better with Dan than Dimitrov by himself. It was his coaching that was the problem. I would agree with that. The lower round picks are really pretty special. When you start thinking about Grady and Sheffield, Kaminsky has been pretty good as low as he got picked. Aloaquan. I mean, these are some pretty decent low picks that are the future of your team. So, yeah, there could be some legitimacy to that. Yeah, Denny Green, too. Yeah, Denny Green was another one of those coaches. Yeah, we sent him to pasture, too, the Falcons. I love that. Gregor said, coaches aren't meant to be loved. They are meant to be hated with the exception of performance results. Listen, and I think that's what you have when you start talking about those player coaches. I almost hate that term sometimes because that means you care more about. I don't say coach is not supposed to care about your personal stuff, but I'm saying you should be all about the game. You won't love, go home to your wife and kids and your mom and dad and stuff like that. When you come into the building here, I'm not here to like you. I'm here to mold you into a good football player. And more importantly, I'm here to make our team win. Brandon said KZ. Yep, KZ too. Add KZ to that list. Lower round picks. It is something. It's something to think about. Guys, you've been awesome today. We went 2 hours talking about this game. Y'all join me tomorrow. I have my podcast out. Y'all check that out if you haven't had a chance. Falcons Fan Freestyle on all podcasts. iTunes, Google, Spotify. Check it out. You'll see my little bobblehead that look like this big round head of mine up there. Tomorrow I'll have the post game on that. And then tomorrow I'll also go over Monday evening recap of how the Falcons won this game and what we will be doing against Detroit next week. Thank y'all for joining me today. I appreciate you. Thanks for the calls. Thanks for the comments. We will holler at y'all tomorrow. It might be 6 o'clock and it might be 7. I'll let y'all know. I'm gonna send it out on Facebook and let you know. And don't forget to, I also have a YouTube channel, Steve Sports Talk More. Y'all check that out in case it gets full on this this page as well. Okay, until then, y'all have a great night. And you know what? Whether y'all tired of it or not, I don't care. We won the game. Rise up, Atlanta. Y'all have a good one, okay?